So I hope we already going live. If not, then people who will join us in a second will be interested to know who we are. So let's begin. Let's start. Hi, everyone. My name is Valerie, and this is our fourth Emerge Live, and I'm going to be a host today. I'm chief producer of Emerge Tech Conference that's going to happen in Istanbul in just 10 days on the 2nd and 3rd of October. And I'm having a lovely guest today. His name is Artem Kulbasov. He's a founder and recruiter of Folks.Rocks. It's a sales agency specializing on in IT specialists, recruiting them and helping to recruit them for the IT companies. And for the next half hour, we're going to be talking about the topic that excites and frustrates and bothers everybody, like millions of people all over the world, how to find and get a job in IT, or how to build a career in IT, and how to start new HR track in startup and in general in tech industry. I will say a couple of words how it's going to go today, so we're all on the same page. This talk is going to take around 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more. Sometimes it goes over the time limits if everybody is too excited. And for the first 20 minutes, we're going to talk, it's going to be an interview between me and Artem. And after that, you guys who are joining us live, you can leave your comments or questions in the area in the YouTube channel, and we're going to answer them. And after we finished with the questions, Artem will choose the one and only winner of the ticket to the Emerge conference. So get more excited and get your questions ready. Of course, you will be able to rewatch the live after it's finished. We're going to put it on our channel and also put it on our Telegram channel as an audio format, if you're not a visual person, let's say. So Artem, I would like to welcome you and say some words about you and your company, and we will start with the questions.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Artem, but basically you can call me Tom if this is super hard for you. I don't care. It's a nice word, you know, Tom or Tom and Jerry. Everyone knows something about that. But yeah, what I'm currently doing is super simple. I'm kind of a sales agency founder. Why is sales agency? Just because we are kind of brutal hiring agency who is calling developers, who is not kind of spamming, but you know, some kind of this, I don't know, like items we're definitely currently implementing. Yeah, something like that. If you would like to know something about my background, tech experience, please let me know.
So this is going to be actually my first question. I should tell to our audience that Artem was basically on two sides of the process of hiring. He was a developer for a long time, and he got all the experience that's needed to get the right profession and to know how to say the right words to the hiring part of the bargain. So my first question will be, what's your background in tech, and what are your insights? How did you get them, and how did you get to the current profession due to the years of working as an engineer?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, definitely I'm kind of engineer, because there is some difference between engineer and developer. What is the difference? So it's about to solve some problem rather than just write some code. It's super important right now. So if we're going to talk about my background, so I can say I'm kind of data guy. What does it mean? Data guy is that I transited from data analyst or web analyst when I calculated some metrics about addressing or about some data sets from some clients to more development part. What I mean about development part is only about super, hard development with complex engineering problems. And first I transited to data engineer, just a super basic and regular when you have to deal with data sets and Spark streaming part, or just a regular Spark batch job. And after transited to more backend developer when I deal with Java, with HBase, Spring and something. And after just, I think in 1 year, I realized I really will be super efficient asset in terms of hiring. Why? Because I just know so many technologies right now. And I think I can filter and also I can help the candidate about his motivation, because motivation right now is super important. And so yeah, something like that. And after I just founded this Folks.Rocks hiring agency. So we're trying, just to find great talents all over the world and be super efficient in terms of whatever. So yeah, something like that.
I cannot agree more, to be honest, because I really think it's just super important right now to find the match between a talent who is seeking for a great place to show his skills, to develop, and also with the place where you work, where you're gonna be talking to your colleagues, where you're gonna be achieving some results. So yeah, it's really important thing that you are doing on the both sides. And I would like to ask you, if it's not a secret, what companies are you currently working with and what's their specifics in hiring? Some hints for our audience.
Yeah, no worries. So currently I'm working only with crypto companies. Why is crypto companies? Because I totally believe that traditional finance will change the current vector to more decentralized applications or something like that, right? So currently I'm working with Neon Labs. Neon Labs is a big company which are doing kind of the bridge between Ethereum network and Solana network. And in a nutshell, why it's super important right now to work with Neon Labs, just because you can just super easy transit from Ethereum legacy system to more Solana system, where Solana is super fast and also it has some low gas fees and something like that. So my specialization currently is super hard positions, something about Rust developers, something about Haskell developers, as well as Scala developers. Just because I was on a candidate side, I know where is to find those candidates, and it's super easy for me just to find really Folks.Rocks. It's the name of my company.
It's a nice name, by the way. How did you come up with it? Sorry, we are going a little bit off topic, but I'm interested.
No worries. Yeah, it was just an AI, by the way. So I just generated this with AI, and I think it's something about with the name. I forgot the service, but you can go there and just type something like, "Can you generate for me the domain name?" And he can present exact what you really need, as well as, by the way, with some description and details. So, for instance, if you can mention something about your mission or something, it will present for you the best result.
So you were asking them like how to find the best naming that will show that the people power is the most efficient power, and he told you like, just write Folks.Rocks.
Yeah, exactly. So Folks.Rocks, I can explain. Folks is just about because we're super young right now. I do not have corporation with thousands of employees and workers, as well as I'm super always excited to talk in not professional manner. So, for instance, I will not start conversation with you as a recruiter with a question, something like, tell me about yourself or whatever. Anyway, it's going to be about networking. And I will ask you, okay, what you would like to achieve in 1 year. Do you really need this job, even if I have this? Because for me, it's super important that you as a candidate can just achieve your goals. This is what I really want.
Wow, that's a really noble and really humanitarian aim, because it's really hard nowadays to understand and choose what you want to do in life. As you've been in this business for a while, I think you can find some changes in the last years. Can you maybe dive deep into it and tell us about what's the current reality for the candidates?
No problem. Yeah, thanks for this question. So first of all, what I can say, if we're going to talk about recruiting part, it's only about AI, and it's only about how, first of all, how to source candidates via AI technologies, right? And also it's also about candidate side and how he can implement AI technology for to find any job, whatever he wants or she wants, right? So I can say current recruiting. I'm sorry. Can you hear me? Everything is fine. I'm out. Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry for this slow lag.
I think it was my misconnection with the internet. AI is tricky.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Exactly. No worries. So yeah, if I will continue to talk about that, so everything gonna be changed. I can say AI will change recruiters because anyway, human touch is super important, and I also believe on it. But yeah, always and most of the companies just switching to support their current daily routine with ChatGPT and whatever, or maybe Microsoft AI, something like that.
It's interesting that you mentioned that everything is switching to AI. That means that basically the person will be mostly talking not to another person. It will be talking to the algorithms or programs or machines or robots or whatsoever. But I still think that the decision that is being made between two persons. So if you could just share some tips how to build a trustful conversation with HR specialists when a person tries to find a new job in tech, because I know it's really hard to go through all the algorithms, and this might be for somebody the hardest part, but sometimes it's really important to build relationship with the person who is behind the algorithms.
Yeah. Thanks all for this question. It's super important. So I'll be super, easy guy. And I will say, first of all, you have to turn on your video. It's super important, by the way, because because I'm currently making an interview around 3 times per day, and I see many candidates who would like to apply to some positions, not only for Neolabs, maybe some other clients. I also have some other clients. I also have some assistants. And most of the candidates just do not turn on the video. Yeah, sure. I can totally understand the candidate motivation that sometimes you're, I don't know, from not appropriate place. And if you turn on your video, everything's going to be really bad. But anyway, you have to prepare yourself, right? It's super important. So just choose exact location where everything going to be professional. It's super easy, right? Just choose some room in your apartment, or just don't choose co-worker places or something, because it will be some noises definitely there. It's my first advice. It's super simple, and no one is doing this stuff because I can see your emotion about some opportunity. If I will not see your emotion, I will make some notes that this guy is not so motivated to this opportunity. Super easy to do. Second thing, what I can say, it's always about fitable for this current role. For instance, if you have Java role or Scala role, or I don't know, like React role, you always have to talk about the client problem, not how you currently have some motivation about the money or about your current problem. No one cares about it. No one. You have to solve some client problem, and you have to talk about client problem. This is the main topic right now about the conversation with a recruiter and as well, or HR. And as well, you have to be always in a great mood. It's also super important. If you will start the conversation with like, what do you want? You want this? Maybe yes, maybe no. Definitely, you will not have any networking with this HR or recruiters, and she or he will not join you or LinkedIn or something. You have to, stand out. Definitely stand out. Be super motivated. Tell about why you're really great fit for this position, rather than just say about your past experience. This is the main topic right now about interviewing.
That's true. That's true. And I think also it's important to start with a small talk, because for a lot of people, it's hard to understand that we're still talking not to HR, but to a person. And it's really great when you can just start with I don't know, weather or not political situation, but some situation in the world at all, but something that keeps something in common between you.
Yeah, sure. It's calling in recruiting word icebreaking. When you can start, yeah, exactly. When you can start conversation with any candidate about weather, about tell me 3 things. It's also my common question. Tell me 3 things about your city, what is super interesting or something like that. But anyway, it's on recruiter side. Because anyway, you have to understand that because I'm an international recruiter, I'm hiring for US, I'm hiring for Europe, I'm hiring for whatever the client will need. In US, unfortunately, I can't see the same stuff. They are doing kind of screening via phone, just a cell phone, and they do not have the stuff like, okay, it's only about your story. Let's talk not only about your experience, but also something else. So in US, this approach will not work. In Europe, for sure, you can start communication with HR, with a recruiter, and tell something like, yeah, by the way, I do not agree about your approach to something. And you can start, this conversation, like she will definitely reply to you or he, like, why do you think so? And after you can start communication and just explain your vision about this current company or something. For sure, you can start about the weather, but it's gonna be around just 1 minute and something. But when you will talk about most of the time the company and what they're doing, it's going to be much more way efficient.
Thank you. Thank you. It was an interesting insight about the difference between US market and European market. And there is a promotional second here from my side as an Emerge chief producer. I would like to say that Artem is going to have the workshop during the Emerge conference. So if you want to know more insights and get deeper into the process of selecting candidates from Europe to US to Asia to basically any continent, please join us. We will be happy to meet everybody on 2nd or 3rd of October in Istanbul. And I have my last question from our interview part. I'm going to ask you now, and then we will be ready for the questions from the audience. So guys, don't lose your chance. Don't miss your chance to ask anything you want to know about recruiting process. And my last question would be, how do you think we can, as a tech talent who is looking for a job, how we can optimize job search process? What helps here?
All right, thanks a lot for this question. So first of all, it's only about strategy. Unfortunately, right now, you can just apply for LinkedIn or for any big website. I can tell why only if you will come to conference, and I will definitely share, insight how you can do that. But from my personal opinion, first of all, just keep this popular website and go to something else.
So you think that it's better not to lose any opportunity, as far as I understand.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to check if we have the questions from our forums. I see one here. Hi, Artem. It's from Stacy. Hi, Artem. Do you encounter such situations when a candidate for a position that you were working on change their background from the humanities to a tech profession?
Mhm.
Is this change a red flag for you?
Humanities, she means about HR work or something like that?
Like, yeah, it could be something not
Okay, all right. It everywhere and always depends on some situations. So, for example, if this guy applying for a role which is super duper engineering part, where he will not, complete some task in agile mode and something, it's definitely not a great fit for him, because anyway, hiring manager will take a look on his profile and will say, why? What's the reason? Okay, my case, it's not the case, all right? Because I always was open-minded person, and I talked with my colleagues and helped them. But when just guy from HR skip to from HR skip to more development part, it's always about great fit for this position. And if the hiring manager will tell you like, I'm not sure about this person because he doesn't have bachelor, master, or PhD in something, unfortunately, this is a problem. But if you really, feel motivation to write some code, to make a test or whatever, and you can represent yourself over the internet, you can basically get a job. It's not a problem. But it's always about hiring manager opinion. It's subjective, always subjective. Because hiring manager always can say, I know this company is bad. Please do not show me candidates about this company. Please go ahead or something. He can say the same thing for you. He can say, it's super interesting, but I don't think he's gonna be great fit, because he's seeing that the engineer has to start his career at 15 or 14 years old with basic programming languages in really old times. And after he has to transit to Delphi developer, and after he has to transit to C++, and he has his own vision, what does it mean, great developer or great engineer? So it's kind of tricky question. And it's always about the current situation. So if this guy applying to some job which do not require bachelor or do not require hiring manager opinion about who it is, a great engineer, no problem at all. If it's not, it's going to be an issue.
I have, I think, more specific question, because this was in general about the humanitarian professions. But if you are a salesperson, this is a question from Carlos. Do you have any ideas how a salesperson could get into IT industry? Because I think there might be a way to get into similar to sale, but something like connected with selling the algorithms or programs, something like this, but they still will need some background from you. Like, how are you?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I had two options how to reply to this answer. The first option, I can just say some recommendation, and another option, what I will choose, just to understand why. All right, just to understand why you really need it, because sales is about the money, is about, just feel free just to talk to some clients, understand the motivation of some guy and something like that. If you think you can get much more money in IT, it's a wrong way, definitely wrong way, because so much competitors there, and you will be so unique there because you have some sales experience. But anyway, if you are going to IT and development part, just to write some code because you really love this, your deeper, I don't know how to say it, like soul really wants that you will go and write some Scala or whatever React code. It's super easy, by the way. So first of all, you have to open source kind of project where you can create something, just something. It doesn't matter. It's super hard e-commerce market, or it's just your blog, but you have to show something, because when you will pass some interview with recruiter or with HR, she will ask you, or you can present, it's going to be my, by the way, topic about how you can present yourself, your achievements. You can say, hey, I committed to this open source project related to, I don't know, like Java, HBase, Scala, Spark, whatever. And even some senior guys told me that your solution is super cool. You can mention it and also present yourself, and it will be, points for you during your interview, something like that. So anyway, it's only about proactive work. Even if you from talking place, from sales, it doesn't matter. You can, make some programming languages or something like that. Or for sure, only because you have to understand there is some difference, right? So if you're going to do some low-level programming, unfortunately, you have to spend around 5 or 6 years just to understand the fundamental how to do that stuff. But if you're going to do just for full stack development, no problem. You can just create some open source project, create something, and represent himself or yourself during your interview.
Interesting point. Carlos, you should keep it in mind when you are looking for a job in tech. I have a last question that I'm going to ask you. I think the answer can be pretty easy, but let's see. We all know that there are skills like soft skills, warm skills, hard skills, and the T skills, like when you are trying to transition from one profession to another. How do you think, which is the most important type of skills when you are trying to find a job in tech and IT?
Understood. So the first and important thing, by the way, is just the sales skills. If you will not have sales skills and you will be super boring over the interview, you will not show who you are, why you really need to get this job, why you are so special or you are so unique to get this job. Unfortunately, you will have failed. So my main point is always about your identification and always about your unique proposition, how you can present. Because the much more way important topic is only this interview. It's interview when you're talking with hiring manager or you're talking with recruiters, because that previous preparation about your CVs, about LinkedIn, about whatever is not so important, because anyway, you can do that with, some other guys who can help you, but no one will help you how you can present yourself. It's super important right now. So soft skills, it's a must. This is what I can say.
I agree 100%. That's true. Oh, we have some more questions. If you have time, we can go on.
Yeah, sure.
Great. So we have a question from Sam. He says, with the recent collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, do you think that startup industry is a secure job market, especially since apps are going bust left, right, and center, and very few turn into an actual unicorns?
Yeah, great question, by the way. So first of all, what I can say, if you're Warren Buffett, you definitely have to take care about the startup, ecosystem, or how many startups just fail or something. If you are just a regular, citizen of some city and you just wanna get a job, it doesn't matter, does it startup or does it corporation, whatever. So my main point is you don't need to take care about the news. If in news you will see something like, oh yeah, you don't need to get the job in unicorn startup because any unicorn startup is failed, it's wrong information for you, because it's specifically not that case. For instance, if you will talk to some really great, like team leader who would like to work with you about your skills and your work, it's not about it. So it's about just the size, what this current startup is doing, and do you really believe on that? If you do not believe, just keep this out. So I can say, since this news about startups and failed, we just don't need to work in any startups or unicorns. It's a wrong way, because for sure, if you was at the investors, you will take care about that. But you're just one guy who would like to have one work in one startup, and you will take care about the news. So it's it's ridiculous. So yeah, no worries about it. Just keep going if you really prefer, because anyway, there is some differentiation between startup and between corporation, right? In startup, you will not have great onboarding. Just it's so because not so many people take care about the first 3, 4, 7, 11 days of your work. And if you are not prepared for this, and you prepare that everything has to be smoothly among and during your onboarding period, definitely startup is not your choice, because in startup you will not have strict processes, you will not have even like a great task, right? So for instance, you see on Jira some task, and this task is just okay, great for me, front end part, that's all. What you can say? You can say the two options. You can say no. I'm just quit. Bye. Just quit. I don't want to work here. Or you can say, okay, let me find the owner of this task, ask him some specific question, and this is what you can expect from startup and from fast-growing top niche and companies whose only startup is his mission or something like that. So yeah.
And to be honest, if we're being completely transparent, there are no secure jobs right now. I mean, wherever you go, it can collapse, it can stop at one moment, it can be disrupted by the AI or whatsoever. So basically, just train yourself to be ready to go and change in every second time or second or minute or time of the day. So yeah,
exactly.
I wouldn't say there is a secure way of doing
there is no secure, even not for no. I will not talk about the jobs, even about your life or even about the weather. How you can predict anything right now? Nothing. Coronavirus, did you hear about it? So how you can predict this, bad stuff? So it's yeah, exactly.
So our time is almost up, and I think I would ask you just one more thing. If you have some special advice to our audience that you want to share, that would be great. Just one thing that they should keep in mind when looking for a new job.
Yeah, sure. The most important thing is about your flair and about your, ability to not think what they think about you. It's a much important thing when you're looking for a job right now in the current market with the current recession. So just do not think and just move forward. And after that, everything gonna be okay. If you will think what this guy will think about you, you will be super slow in any job seeking. So this is my advice.
That's true. Thank you so much for this advice. And I almost forgot. We have to choose the winner who had the best question. I should remind you, we had 3 persons who asked about the collapse of the Silicon Valley and safety of going to any startup. Another one was about changing your job if you are in sales and you want to get in the IT industry. And the first one basically was the question about going from humanitarian to tech and how is the best to do that. So which one would you prefer to go to emerge and to take part in your workshop?
Yeah, sure. So basically, I'm really interested in about the last question about startup. Maybe I will also talk about that on this conference. So please come to Istanbul, and I will describe more about startups, about startup operation, what is the difference. So I definitely will choose the last guy.
Perfect. So if your name is Sam, as I can say it from the forum, Sam, congratulations, you got the ticket to merge, and it's gonna happen almost like in no time. It's less than 10 days left. So thank you, Artem, so much for taking some time and spending it
You're
with
welcome.
us and giving the insights from your side. It was really, really exciting and interesting. And see you soon in Turkey. I can't wait.
Yeah, sure. Likewise. So thanks a lot, guys, for having me here. See you in 3rd October, as far as I remember. And yeah, thanks a lot.
Okay, now we have to freeze and wait for a second.
Yeah, I can do this.
It was amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm trying to do my best.
Okay, now let me check if we are not live now.
No, I see custom live streaming service. It's still live.
Okay, I think we should be done by now.